The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
There's a very special birthday today, and I want to send out a request. Actually, I don't want to bombard her with photo requests. So, Dolores, over at Tim Hortons on Dugald,
It's her birthday?
73 years young today.
God love her.
And the reason I know this is I was waiting in line for my coffee. I'd already ordered, waiting to pick it up, and the person in front of me, another woman, and I recognize the person in front of me. She's there all the time as well. I saw Dolores stick her hand out the drive-through window and shake her hand and everything, and I'm like, oh no. Immediately I thought, don't tell me Dolores is retiring, because it was the kind of handshake you could see like some happiness being exchanged, and I'm like, no, please, because she's bound to retire eventually.
Sure.
And she makes so many people's mornings brighter. And I got up to the window and I'm like, Dolores, what was going on there? I saw you getting the handshake and everything. She's like, it's my birthday. I'm 73 today.
Nice. Happy birthday, Dolores. I'm sorry we've never met, but sometime I'm going to have to get up a little earlier and drive from Charleswood out to that.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you said it's worth the trip.
It is. So what I wanted is I was kicking myself as I drove away. I'm like, I should have got a quick selfie with Dolores. We could post it on the City Facebook page. If somebody wanted to do that bright and early, say, hey, Dolores, the guys at City, Philly and Joe, want a picture of you so they can put it up at their Facebook page. We would love that. And send it to us on the text line 762-555.
Can you, just for people that don't know which Tim's Dolores is at?
Dugald.
The Dugald location.
You're driving down Dugald towards Lage, you go past the West End Tire there, the great guys at West End, and then there's that Timmy's. And like so many people coming out of Transcona use that Tim Hortons, and she's marvelous. You hear about Dolores all the time.
Isn't that great, though, when a name like that and her performance comes out and hits the public? You just usually hear about something like that in the area or something, or maybe through a review or something, but isn't that great?
Oh, I love it.
No one has a bad word to say about Dolores. Even our Boston Pizza text line right now is lit about Dolores' birthday.
And you pointed out another birthday to me yesterday. Former NHLer, I suppose. Good Winnipegger, Mike Keane.
Won 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Mike Keane's birthday today.
And the reason I know this is I posted an old video of him on Instagram. It came up on my reels. Mike Keane versus Bill Guerin, a great scrap from the 90s.
Well, he's one of the best lefties to ever throw in the National Hockey League.
What a fight. So happy birthday, Mike Keane, today.
Yeah, I'm going to send him a note, too, and I'll bug him about, hey, sorry to bother you while you're working out, doing some stretching or doing some running. Usually if you see Mike Keane in the neighborhood, he's probably jogging past you. The guy's in great shape still.
Someone said on the text line, wrong, her name is Malva. Well, who told me it was Dolores? It's been Dolores forever. Cody on the Boston Pizza text line. Well, I said to her, happy birthday, Dolores, this morning.
It's interesting because other people have been calling her Dolores, too.
Okay, well, we're going to need...
location. Okay, well, no, that's good to know, Cody.
Well, let's get some clarification on that, because I've had like literally dozens and dozens of people tell me that she is Dolores. So I've never heard Malva
What
before.
A discussion to have on the poor woman's birthday. Somehow you screwed up the cake.
I better not have.
No.
Oh, no, wait.
No, he's just joking with you.
Okay, you can't do that, Cody. You messed with me.
It's a Seinfeld reference.
Can we get Mike Keane to go to that Tim Hortons this morning and wish her a happy birthday?
Probably not.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
It might be hard to get a hold of him. He might not even be in town. He's working with the Jets still, right, on prospects and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. Anyway.
Happy birthday, Keener.
There
happy birthday, Dolores. And to all the Mulvas out there, happy birthday.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
So let's get back to the bone phone here. And
you said you got a special surprise for me today on the bone phone.
Oh, the hooligan is back.
Come on.
Yeah, he is. It's been way too long. We'll get to him in a minute. First, the professor in Thankful Thursday.
Every now and then you find a youngster who's hungry for knowledge, somebody who seeks it out. That just really warms the spot in my chest where my heart used to be.
Is he talking about me? I'm not a youngster.
Yeah,
I always appreciate the professor's knowledge. You know that.
You know what? I think that was for you. I really do.
I'll tell you what. I believe he's a grandpa. I think he sent us a text one time on a 2-Dat Tuesday. Or it might have been a Thankful Thursday about his family.
I'll tell you what,
Love the professor.
Yeah, and he never misses He never misses a Thankful Thursday. Like, never.
No.
Yep.
To me, he's like our Morgan Freeman. You know, he's got that
yeah.
soothing voice, and he could say the stupidest thing, and it would still sound smart to me, the professor.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's Cliff Clavin here. He's got some streetlight problems, I guess, in his neighborhood.
Yeah, from Sturgeon to that bridge there just west of Sturgeon, or somewhere west-ish. Anyways, all the street lights are not working. On Sutter, some of the street lights aren't working. And pretty much on Lonsdale, I think most of the street lights aren't working there. So, Bone Phone, let's get it done. Let's get the city fixing those lights.
Yeah, it is frustrating if the street lights stay out for a while, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Bone Phone gets results, Clavin. You called the right place. Speaking of lights, different kind of lights here.
Hey, guys, just a notification for everybody driving that does not know they have a burnt-out tail light. Please do a check at home when you can. I just came across a guy. All he had was the little lights above his window. That's it. It was like, oh, do I? I have no other brake lights?
Ninja mode.
No, you don't. Do your part if you can. Pull up beside the person that has no brake lights and tell them. They don't know. Tell them so they could get it fixed. Come on, people.
That's been a discussion on the show before. Do you pull up beside people and tell them in traffic that they have lights out?
I would suggest in most cases probably not in today's society.
Mm-hmm. I think, you know what?
There's too much rage out there.
I agree with you. And plus you startle people. And sometimes, you don't have a lot of time at that red light. And you're trying to tell them, and they're like, what? Get out of here. Leave me alone. All right. Construction. Act proper out there.
To all the brain-dead Winnipeg drivers on the south perimeter, when it says the left lane closed, maybe not try to fly up to the front and try to cut in. If you stay in the right lane, the traffic will flow great. But because of you, dickhead, it's a gridlock again.
I don't know. I love dickhead. It's so funny. We knew this was coming. There's been so many calls with people complaining about construction. It's construction season, and people get frustrated, backed up in traffic. And we can't say it enough that it's not towards the workers. At least that's how I feel about it. It's just towards the amount of construction around the city.
Yeah, and you know what? Somebody sent a great text at the end of the show yesterday regarding the specs on road construction and why it has to keep getting fixed every couple of years. And it started with how, these bids get tendered, and there's only so much money assigned for that particular job. So the company or companies that are awarded the job would love nothing better to rip it apart and get it done just once, but they're dealing with budgets, as we talked about before. So that's a good reminder that we get. Like, yeah, sometimes they're a Band-Aid, and those jobs will keep happening because there's not enough money and they're having to stretch the dollars. So that's just a good reminder we get every once in a while when there is that kind of construction frustration. It's not so much the people working, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's the money going into the project.
Well, and that's a great message as we play this call. This guy's clearly a construction worker, and he's frustrated with all the complaints.
Hey, I just heard you guys talking, or some people on there talking about the road construction. I know it pisses people off when, the roads are under construction for a long time. But, I work 65 hours a week in the sun doing that work. And the entire time that I'm doing it, I'm constantly having people yell at me, scream at me, throw stuff at me. The guys who are out there are busting ass trying to get this stuff done as fast as they humanly can. And everybody screams and whines. Everybody wants good roads. Everybody wants potholes filled. Everybody doesn't want construction overnight in their residential area, but they want it done overnight in other residential areas. Everybody wants something, but nobody wants to do anything about it. All these guys that got a problem with it, plenty of places are hiring. You want the construction done better and done faster? Go apply and show us how hard of a worker you are.
So you can sense the frustration in his voice. First of all, if you're one of these people swearing at construction workers, what's the matter with you? Like, stop it. Throwing stuff at them? Who's doing that? Come on. I've never seen that in my life, and it shouldn't be happening. Absolutely not. Okay, let's wrap up with this here. It's the one, the only, the hooligan. He's returned. He's been gone for a while, like to the point where it was like, what happened? What happened to the hooligan? And we were getting a couple of text calls, too.
He went on a leave.
Or text messages. He went on a leave. Here we go. Here's the reason.
Hello, guys. Yes, I'm alive and well. Just going through a few traumatic events in my life.
Oh.
Some woman T-boned my truck.
Oh, boy.
2018 Sierra Elevation. Immaculate condition. I mean, it's repaired. And then the second traumatic event is, I don't know why, but I sold my boat 2 weeks ago. I sold it for the fact of buying my son a better vehicle because that piece of 2008 Jeep Rubicon that the ex got for him was nothing but a money tip. And then we talked about it, and then he said, yeah, okay. And then he's like, well, I liked it. So then I sold my boat pretty much for nothing. Now, that's worse than getting divorced. I mean, I'm tossing and turning at night. I can't sleep. No, literally, I'm serious. I mean, I love my boat, so I don't know. I mean, and I haven't called for a while because I think I missed my stop. I might have to seek therapy for this.
That's good
I'm
therapy,
just so upset about it. I mean, I have a good friend. I can fish with him, but, it's not yours anymore. It's not in the garage. I don't see it every day. I'm probably out of airtime. All right. I'm fine. I'm just, upset about a few things. Goodbye.
I miss you guys. I still listen. Don't worry.
I love that. That is a great line that I will take with me. Is getting rid of his boat's worse than a divorce.
And he's been there. He's been there
too. Great to have you back, hooligan.
The Philly and Joe podcast.
On the Boston Pizza text line, this was discussed in the Bone Phone. We got a Bone Phone call about it. And the topic was, listen, if you see somebody who doesn't have their lights on in traffic, roll down your window and let them know. And Joe and I were like, well, I don't know. People don't love it when you do that. So we got this from Caitlin. She says, I try often to let people know about their lights being off or broken. Everyone thinks I'm trying to kill them or something. Seriously, I'm a 90-pound female. Am I intimidating? Caitlin, probably not. It just startles people.
My buddy Leon said he does it all the time.
I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be a knock. It would be a wave.
And,
hey, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, usually when I see it, it's me and three other people in traffic at like 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
And I'm on my way in, and I tried it once, and the poor woman looked so terrified and alarmed, and just literally she was super close to calling 911. And at that point, I just rolled my window up and was like, I don't think I'll do that anymore. She was...
that time of the morning, eh?
Yeah, she just wasn't ready for some dude with a beard and a bomber cap to be yelling at her.
Right.
About her lights. So
she's thinking it's the Bombers head coach. What the heck? Going in. Who is this guy?
She got to work. I think Coach O'Shea was yelling at me in traffic.
I don't know why. But you know what? Here's the thing. For me coming into work as early as we do, I find more people with their high beams on. And I'm not talking about the other lights, the newer light system. I'm talking about the old school high beams, like both sides just blaring at you, right? Light-wise. Then I do no lights. But I just don't understand how you can be driving with no lights on some of these streets. You can barely see.
It's really strange. Ninja mode.
You must be the new level of eye test.
Yeah.
If you can see through that sometimes.
Buzzing around. Let us know. Do you let people know in traffic if they don't have their lights on? 762-555.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Xenia wants us to make a couple of signs to hold up to show the other car. So...
Oh, I see. Okay. Keep those in the vehicle. A couple of chloroplast signs.
Just
that say, hey, you.
Honey, pass me my chloroplast sign. I got to show that this driver doesn't have his lights on, and you're holding it up in the window. Your lights are off.
You got to have a few, as if you were going to a sporting event. One that said lights off. One that said
your brights are on.
Lights off. That'd be cool.
Maybe a whiteboard. A whiteboard could handle all
that'd
that.
be even better with some market. Or you can't have permanent markers.
But I like the idea. Because communicating. The question this morning is, do you tell people when they don't have their lights on in traffic? You see it more and more. I call it ninja mode, just driving around in the dark with no lights on at all. I wonder how often WPS is pulling people over and letting them know. I bet you all the time.
Yeah, well, a couple people said they do it all the time, and they gave the same answer. Well, then you get the deer in the headlights look back. Obviously, worse on the highways than it would be in the city, and they still drive. That's the best.
Yeah,
so.
Some guy said, this is on the text line. Some guy looked at me and said, "Yeah, thanks. It's been like that since the winter. I've got lights burnt out."
For more Philly and Joe, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart, 92.1 City. We are Winnipeg's rock station. The time, 7:37 with Philly and Joe.
I will say this. If you had a list of bands that you could just kind of put aside or forgive to see again, that would be it for me. Because you know that Vince Neil's voice is shattered, whatever it is. It's more a sing-along in concert, they say. Yeah. But I could settle for that. I do a lot of that type of singing myself.
Now. You're saying right now, in their current form, you would still love to see the Crew.
Yeah, just because I could forgive the fact that, there's things that there's bands out there like that. I finally had a shot at seeing Bob Seger. He was already later stage. You know what? The voice was shot.
Yeah.
And I had an okay time, but it was one of those bucket list concerts. So I could let it go and still,
you gotta
make
go.
the best of it. But Motley Crue is just that act. I don't care. I'd still see them one more time.
See, it boils down to I've seen them twice in their prime. Crew, like Girls tour, that was epic.
Unbelievable.
But like Black Sabbath is a good example. They rolled through town, and obviously Ozzy was not in his prime. It was still awesome, but
and now look, we're sending somebody to see them.
That's right. I went to see him. He's doing the jumping jacks on stage and everything else, and I loved it. But of course, the legend, Howard Manshine, had to tell me, and I can't. I'll tell you what he said, Joe, and then you can do it in the H voice. He said, I saw them in their prime, like back in the day when they were rolling hard and just getting started.
Philly, let me take you back. It was one of those moments when Ozzy was in his prime, the quintessential moment of Black Sabbath's career.
Yep, and he had to tell me that. And I'm like, oh, man, why'd you have to tell me that? Obviously, I'd prefer to see them when they were younger.
Because he won't lie to you.
Yeah, no, it was...
there's no filter.
But I still love the show. I agree with you, Joe. If Crew's coming, you're going. We might make fun of Vince's vocals, but we're going to go.
Somebody said here they don't even have Mick Mars anymore, which is true. But you know what? There's a lot of bands in that era that don't have all the players anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Foreigner. They're going to look for a third lead singer now, I just read. Even the Stones, for example.
Yeah.
Some of the original members are gone.
Sure.
So I don't know. Sammy Hagar, somebody said they saw a few weeks ago in Vegas. There's something about Sammy, though, that is still electric on stage. He's put on a lot of shows with different bands, his own band.
Mm-hmm.
He's still one of those guys performing, but I think he's still top level.
Agreed. Yeah. So
Scorpions, saw them, but they sounded very good still.
Yeah, they, from what I've heard, the Scorpions. See, what you're dealing with Motley Crue is, unlike the Scorpions, I think unlike Hagar, is Vince Neil has had well-documented vocal troubles.
Yes.
So you're accepting that. If you're going and you're just loving the music so much and you're ready to help Vince sing all night and sing along, okay then. It's a party. Yeah. It's the music you recognize.
And they did officially retire once as a band.
They signed a legal document, didn't they? I remember that. By the way, I got to thank the person who sent me this very early this morning. Of course, we've talked about canned meat a lot on the show, and my love of different forms of canned meat.
That's it.
Well, this looks like meat in a bag. It's Hereford black beans and beef, product of Brazil.
In a bag?
It looks like it's in one of those, the rice, like the Uncle Ben's rice comes in that bag.
Instant
you rip
microwavable
off the top. And
food.
It's fantastic.
And what's this? Meat?
Black beans and beef, Hereford. I think Hereford makes canned meat as well.
So they've got now some kind of instant meal.
Yeah, I actually see some corn on that in that bag too. Man, that is some kind of
corns,
instant meal
beans, and meat.
It says fully cooked on the package.
No, for sure it is.
You know I'm trying it.
Better you than me. Let me know how it goes.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get P&J into more ears.
Excellent. And lifelines today, if you want. You can use me or you can use the text line. We'll do that again today because we get lots of guesses on the text line.
The Boston Pizza text line came through yesterday.
It did.
Right?
Yep.
Even though this is apparently considered risky, Phil, 75% of us will still do it. So even though this is apparently considered risky, 75% of us will still do it.
780 City, 780-2484. Good morning. Go ahead with your guess.
Good morning. Can I have a lifeline, please?
Philly or the Boston Pizza text line?
Let's go with the text line.
Oh, actually, there's nothing on the text line yet for guesses. So you'll have to use, it'll have to be me. Yeah,
okay.
it usually takes a couple of seconds to get those texts in. So here we go. I'm the lifeline. Oh, wait. A couple of texts just showed up. Okay. Smoking was the first answer that came up.
It's not in the top three, but that's a very good answer.
Thanks,
Even though it's apparently
You're welcome.
considered risky, 75% of us will still do it.
Hello, City. You have a guess for us?
Could I get a lifeline?
Philly or the text line?
Text line.
Okay. See, this was going to be one of my guesses, too. Unprotected relations.
Oh, that's a good answer, but it's not in the top three.
What?
That's a good. Well, maybe the number's higher. It says 75% is still pretty high.
Maybe that was more of a 70s, 80s, 60s than it is nowadays.
Unprotected? Yeah, probably.
But he's a lot safer nowadays, and that's good to hear. 780 City. Good morning.
Have that talk with your boys, okay?
Yay. Can't wait. Let my wife handle
My
it.
dad's 84. We still haven't had that talk.
You know, one of these days, I'm confident Ralphie will give it to you.
I'm surprised it hasn't come up.
I'm going to mention next time I see him, Joe would love for you to chat about the birds and the bees with him. Good morning. Do you have a guess for us?
Eat raw cookie dough.
Eat raw cookie dough. Great answer, but not in the top three.
Are you kidding? You can get it at ice
You can
cream
buy-
joints.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be
I
safe.
think that's got to make you
It's so good.
your tummy sore.
Hello, City.
Hi there. Can I have a lifeline?
Philly or the Boston Pizza text line?
The text line, please.
Okay. It's always the first one that, the
Yeah, the
most
first
recent
one
one.
you notice.
That's what I go with. Okay, fart when you have diarrhea. That's the most recent one.
No, that's not in the top three.
It is dangerous.
Sure, it's dangerous. Even though this is apparently considered risky, yes, it is, 75% of us will still do it.
That's why you got to have the backup gitch in the glove box. Good morning, City.
Good morning. How about putting a Q-tip in your ear?
How about putting a cotton swab, Q-tip
That's
by
it.
name in your ear?
Whoa.
75% of people are still doing that, poking around in their ear. I'll give you the rest. Drinking alcohol and not enough water to hydrate is on
Yeah.
the list. And using a metal bristle brush on the barbecue. Remember when that became risky? Yeah, putting a cotton swab in your ear, the number one answer.
Big N came through with a beauty on the text line, telling your wife to calm down. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike.
Hold on, Mike.
Congrats, and hang on, buddy.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
You nailed it, Joe. We're getting some comments on the condensed driver education course, which is massive. Everybody wants into this condensed driver's education course, so much so that you've got families camping overnight to get in. It sells out fast. Somebody on the Boston Pizza text line, this is Sean, says, the last thing we need is a shorter driver education course. Jesus Murphy.
Yeah.
Jesus Murphy. Where did Jesus Murphy come from?
I don't know.
I'll have to Google
But
that.
the Murphy name is quite common.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of people saying, is there really a reason to expedite people on the road at this point? Because, listen, we've all used the line, where the hell did you get your driver's license from?
Yeah.
Out there. So, yes, that's going to come up. The bone phone's going to be lit. There'll be some entertaining calls about that. But, yeah, a lot of people are referencing to that. Actually, I got my license through Driver's Ed. And when the story first broke, we were talking about it, and I guess the program's changed quite a bit from back then. If I recall, It was me and another student.
Same here.
Right? So you'd share the car time.
Driver's ed. Yeah.
And then you'd be in class for so many lessons. And I think it was like every Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe we even went twice a week back then.
Certainly once. I don't remember if it was twice.
And then you'd get some car time and in-class lessons. And this seems to
a break.
Be a shorter.
That's what I remember most about driver's ed is the instructor had that break and they had no trouble. And it was loud. Slamming it down when you screwed up.
There's probably a reason why most of us had neck and back issues in high school.
Yo, man. By the way, in the late 19th century, an influx of Irish immigrants came to Canada. Prior to this, Canadians, just as Americans, had used Jesus Christ. However, the Irish immigrants gave them a new name that allowed them to curse and also avoid hell. This term was Jesus Murphy, substituting Christ for Murphy.
To avoid hell.
Leave it to the Irish, avoiding hell.
They found the loophole.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.